You're alone. You're broke and no one's coming. Let me tell you something. This is where most people quit. Alone, broke, overwhelmed. You wake up and the silence is loud. No one's texting to check in. No one's sending money. No backup plan. No easy way out. This is the moment when it hits you. No one's coming to fix it. You're locked in with nothing but your thoughts, your choices, and whatever fights you've got left. You can scream, you can blame, you can wish it was different, but none of that opens the door. This is your reality. You're not owed support. You're not promised a rescue. And that's the best thing that can happen to you, because once you finally stop waiting for help, you start building power, not borrowed strength, not rented courage, but something real, the kind that comes from waking up broke and saying, I'm still getting up. This isn't the end. This is the forge. You're in the fire now. The question is, will you break, or will you build yourself into someone that doesn't need saving? This is what rock bottom really looks like. Rock bottom isn't a movie scene. It's not some big dramatic crash. It's quieter than that. It's sitting in your room while the bills pile up. It's the moment your phone stops ringing. It's the feeling of being invisible, like the world moved on without you. That's rock bottom. No audience, no music, just silence. You can't buy your way out. You can't fake your way up. You're stripped down mentally, financially, emotionally, and this is where most tap out. Because when everything's taken from you, all that's left is who you really are. Can you face that? Can you stand in front of the mirror and say, this version of me isn't working, but I'm not done yet? That's the test. Because if you can handle this part, the empty, ugly, no answers part, then you can handle the rebuild. Rock bottom is brutal, but it's also the cleanest foundation you'll ever get. No noise, no distractions, just truth. And here's the truth. If you can survive this, you can build anything. Most people are free, but still living trapped. You've got a phone, a roof, food in the fridge. You're not in a cage, but you still feel stuck. Why? Because freedom isn't just about where you live. It's about how you think. And most people, they're stuck in a loop. Same thoughts, same habits, same fears. Wake up, scroll, drown in noise, numb the pain, then wonder why nothing's changing. Let me ask you, what's worse, being trapped by someone else or trapping yourself every single day? Because that's what this is. Self-built walls, voluntary chains. No one's holding you back but you. You say you want out, but you don't move. You say you want change, but you won't choose it. Comfort has you caged. Fear has the key. And here's the twist. The door's been open the whole time, but stepping through it means pain. It means losing people. It means breaking patterns you've lived in for years. So most people stay stuck, not because they have to, but because they're too scared to get free. Are you? 1 week, one goal, no excuses left. Let's strip it all down. 1 week, one goal. That's it. Forget the noise. Forget the past. Right now, it's you, a timer and a challenge. What if I told you you had 7 days to make $1 million? No help, no distractions, no breaks. You'd stop scrolling. You'd stop whining. You'd stop saying later, because when the stakes are real, you move different. And maybe $1 million in a week sounds crazy, but it's not about the number. It's about the pressure, that fire that makes you sharper, that urgency that makes you creative. What if you lived every week like everything depended on it? No crutches, no second chances, just 7 days to figure it out or fall behind. Because here's the thing, when you act like you've got forever, you waste everything. But when you move like this is your only shot, you stop waiting, you start doing. So try it, lock in, pick a target, and for the next 7 days, act like your future depends on it, because maybe it does. Every excuse feels real until you're out of options. Let me tell you something most won't. Every excuse feels real until reality hits harder. You say you're tired, you say you're young, you say no one's helping you, and maybe all of that is true, but none of that is going to change where you are. Excuses don't care about your dreams. They just care about keeping you still. They sound like protection, but they're the bars on your cage. Picture this, you're standing in a burning building, but you're too busy complaining about the heat to find the exit. That's what living with excuses looks like. You're delaying action in the name of reasons that don't help you escape. No one's saying life's fair, but fairness doesn't build futures. Grit does, decisions do, and when you've got no more backup plan, no more sympathy, no more room to stall, then you finally see the truth. Excuses are just comfortable lies. that keep you broke, stuck and silent. So here's the mirror. You're out of options. What now? You either act or you decay. There are only two directions in this game, forward or backward. There's no standing still. You're either building stronger, sharper, more focused, or you're letting yourself rot in place. And don't think slow decay isn't dangerous. That quiet comfort, that easy routine, it's the silent killer of dreams. You don't wake up broke and behind one day. You drift there, inch by inch, excuse by excuse, and the moment you stop moving, the world doesn't pause with you, it passes you. Act or decay, that's the choice. You wait too long, and you'll forget what drive even feels like. You'll get used to settling, you'll start believing that surviving is all there is. But hear this, inaction isn't neutral, it's decline. There is no middle ground. You move or you rust, you rise or you rot. There's no room left for wondering, waiting, or wishing. So ask yourself right now, am I building something or just slowly breaking down? Excuses are padded walls, safe, but still a prison. Excuses feel soft, they feel safe, they wrap around you like comfort, but make no mistake, they're still walls. Imagine a prison cell with soft padding on every side. It's warm, it's quiet, no one's yelling, no one's pushing you, but you're still trapped. That's what happens when you let excuses run your life. You're not free, you're just safe and stuck. You avoid risk, you avoid pressure, but the cost, you avoid growth too. Some of you are not trapped by the world, you're trapped by your own choices. You've made fear the boss, you've made comfort the goal, and deep down you know it. So here's the hard question, are you chasing freedom or just avoiding fear? Because if all you're doing is building walls to protect yourself from discomfort, then you've already chosen the smaller life. And don't lie to yourself. It wasn't fate, it was fear. You want something different, then step outside the walls. The risk is real, but so is the reward. Shift the question. Stop asking if, start asking how. This is where it flips. You stop asking, can I do it? And you start asking, how do I get it done? That one change, it rewires your whole life. When you ask if, you leave room for failure, doubt, delay. You stay stuck waiting for permission. But when you ask how, you take the wheel. You stop playing scared. You start playing smart. And no, you don't need everything figured out. You just need to stop looking for the perfect path and start building one with your own hands. Because you've already got what you need. You've got time, same 24 hours as the greats. You've got your brain, maybe not trained yet, but ready. You've got your will, and that's what moves mountains. So the next time your mind whispers, I don't know if I can, shut it down, replace it, say how do I make it happen? One shift, one new question, one new life. You don't need more time, you need fewer distractions. Let's kill the myth. Right now, you don't need more time, you're not running out of hours, you're leaking them. People say they're overwhelmed, that they can't keep up, but the truth, they're not overwhelmed, they're distracted. You check your phone 7 times a day, you scroll past opportunity while chasing dopamine, you multitask so hard, you end up doing nothing well, and then you tell yourself you're busy. No, you're just split. You want growth, power, momentum. Then here's the hard truth. Every distraction is a thief. Every just 5 minutes steals your edge. And in a world where everyone's distracted, focus is a superpower. So here's the question that should slap you awake. What are you tolerating that's stealing your edge? That one toxic friend, that one lazy habit you keep letting slide, you know exactly what it is. This isn't about being perfect. It's about getting ruthless. You don't need to do everything. You need to do the one thing that actually matters, without letting noise win. One problem, one solution, one outcome. Right now you're probably juggling 5 goals, 3 plans, and a list of maybe laters. That chaos, it's killing your momentum. You want to move fast, simplify, one problem, one solution, one outcome. That's how winners operate. They don't scatter their firepower, they zero in, lock on and execute, ruthlessly. Pick one thing, the one thing that moves the needle, the one thing you've been avoiding, because it's hard, boring or scary, then hammer it into submission. Forget perfection, forget balance. Focus is the weapon, because in a real challenge, every second counts, every ounce of attention matters. You don't win by doing more, you win by doing what matters, harder, faster, cleaner than anyone else. So today, cut the fluff, stop managing complexity, and start attacking clarity. That would change everything. Now act like it's the only one that exists, because right now it is. Laser beats flashlight always. Let's get visual. A flashlight shines, it spreads light everywhere. It's soft, it's safe. A laser cuts, it burns through steel. It doesn't entertain, it executes. That's the difference between being busy and being dangerous. If your attention is a flashlight scattered across 10 ideas, 12 tabs and 30 tasks, you'll stay stuck in surface level action. You'll glow, but you'll never grow. But if you sharpen your energy, if you aim it like a laser, there's nothing you can't slice through. Would you rather shine or cut through steel? People remember impact, not effort. You don't get paid for trying. You get paid for results. So today, sharpen everything. Your thoughts, your hours, your goals. Ask yourself, what am I really aiming at? Then drop the distractions, kill the side quests, and push everything into that one direction. Because the winners, they don't do more, they do less on purpose. If you had one shot, would you waste it? Imagine this, one bullet in the chamber, one chance, no redo. Would you aim carefully, or would you scroll TikTok? This isn't drama, this is real life. You don't get unlimited tries, you get moments, you get decisions, and the ones you waste, you don't get them back. So treat today like your only shot, because it is the opportunity in front of you right now will never exist again in exactly the same way. Your age, your position, your hunger, your pain, it's all a unique mix that'll be gone tomorrow. What will you do with it? You say you want it, you say you're serious, then prove it. Cut the noise, kill the fluff, make the decision you've been dodging. One shot, one chance, one move. Aim it like your life depends on it, because the next 5 years might choose your path and go all in. You're not broke, you're underskilled. Let's stop lying to ourselves. You're not broke because of the economy. You're not stuck because of your past. You're not behind because life isn't fair. You're underskilled. That's the truth most people dodge because it hurts. But you didn't come here for comfort. You came for clarity. And here it is, the marketplace doesn't care about your story. It cares about what you can do, period. People get paid in direct proportion to the problems they can solve. If you can solve more, you earn more. If you can't, you don't. So ask yourself, how long will you stay underpaid because you stayed underskilled? This isn't about shame. It's about power. Because once you own this truth, you can change everything. You don't have to wait for permission. You don't have to wait for luck. You just have to level up. Skill is the variable, and that means freedom is learnable. Money doesn't respond to desire. It responds to value. You can want it with your whole soul. You can cry for it, pray for it, dream about it. But money doesn't care. Money doesn't respond to emotion. It responds to value. You've been sold a lie. That passion is enough. That believing is enough. That wanting it badly enough will somehow manifest success. That's fiction. The reality, value over emotion, skill over wishes, execution over daydreams. If you want more, become more. People don't get rich from hopes. They get rich from usefulness. Solve a $10 problem, earn $10. Solve a $10,000 problem, earn $10,000. So here's your wake-up call. Stop measuring your ambition. Start measuring your value. What do you bring to the table? What can you do on command? What results can you deliver? Because the money's out there. It's already in motion, and it's moving toward the skilled. You're not waiting on the world. The world is waiting on you. Learn, apply, repeat. Faster than ever. There is no secret. There is no hack. There is only this. Learn, apply, repeat. Faster than ever. You want the shortcut? This is it. But don't mistake simple for easy. Learning is the start, but it's useless without action, and action without repetition is just noise. So collapse the timeline. Shrink the gap between idea and execution. You don't need a perfect plan. You need one lesson, one task, one bold move. What can you execute today with what you already know? Do that, then do it again faster, cleaner, better. Because momentum isn't magic. It's built by stacking tiny wins at high speed. The faster you learn, the faster you earn.
The more you apply, the more you adapt. So stop waiting for the perfect strategy. Make mistakes. Adjust fast. Move faster. This is the game now. Speed of learning. Speed of doing. Speed of rising. This isn't a lottery, it's a lever. Success isn't random. This isn't a lottery ticket you scratch and hope for. It's a lever you build and pull with precision. Every skill you learn is a lever that lifts your life, and the more valuable that skill, the heavier the reward it can move. But here's the real test. If your life depended on learning fast, what would you study right now? What would you double down on? What value would you rush to master? What income-producing skill would you refuse to ignore? Because guess what? Your life does depend on it. Your future, your freedom, your options, they all hang on this question. What can you do that the world will pay for? So stop playing the luck game. Pick the skill. Build the value. Pull the lever. Again and again and again. This is how you win. Not once, not by chance, but for life. You have value. Now prove it in the marketplace. You've been building, learning, growing, stacking real skills that matter. But here's the truth most people ignore. Value means nothing if it's invisible. You can be brilliant but broke, talented but unknown, skilled but silent, because the marketplace doesn't reward potential, it rewards perception. It's not just what you know, it's what you communicate, what you deliver, what you sell. So ask yourself the hard question: if no one knows what you offer, do you even have value? You're not paid to be good. You're paid to be known as good. And the only way to do that: speak, show, sell. The world is noisy. The marketplace is brutal. If you won't fight for your voice, no one else will. This is your moment to stop hiding behind "I'm working on it." You've built value. Now prove it out loud. If you can't sell, you can't win. Let's get one thing straight. If you can't sell, you can't win. You stay stuck. Not because of skill, but silence. You've got value. You've got ability. You've got something real to offer. But if you can't communicate that clearly, confidently, and consistently, you lose. Because in the real world, people don't just buy the best solution. They buy the clearest one. No trust, no urgency, no clarity, no money. Selling isn't optional. It's not something extra for extroverts or entrepreneurs. It's survival. Every conversation is a pitch. Every moment is a chance to lead. Every dollar you want is on the other side of persuasion. So stop pretending you're above selling. You're not. And that's a good thing. Because once you master it, you don't just make money. You make moves. You create options. You write your own checks. Selling isn't slimy. Silence is. You've been taught to fear selling, to shrink from it, to believe it's pushy, fake, manipulative. That's a lie. Selling isn't slimy. Silence is. Because when you believe in what you offer, selling is service. It's not about tricking people. It's about solving real problems. It's about making life better for someone somewhere. Because you showed up. If you hate selling, maybe the problem isn't selling. Maybe you don't believe in what you're offering. And that's the deeper work. That's the part you can't skip. Because once you're fully sold on your own value, selling isn't scary. It's urgent. You're not taking someone's money. You're delivering transformation. You're creating wins. You're getting people off the fence and into motion. You want to change lives. Start with your own. And to do that, sell loudly, clearly, proudly. Sell like your life depends on it. Because it does. You breathe in, you breathe out. Selling is that simple. It's your oxygen in the marketplace. And if you hold your breath, you suffocate. That's what happens when you stay quiet, when you hide your offer, when you wait for someone to find you. Starvation, not because you weren't good, but because you weren't loud. So flip the mindset. Stop fearing rejection. Start fearing irrelevance. Stop worrying about annoying people. Start worrying about missing your shot. If you had one chance to change everything, would you really stay silent? This isn't the time to whisper. This isn't the time to second guess. You've worked for this. You've earned this. You've built something the world needs. So sell like your life depends on it. Because it does. Not just for the money, for the freedom, the growth, the legacy. This is your voice, your value, your victory. Go get it. You're tired. You want out. But what if this is the test? You're exhausted, drained, everything in you wants to stop. The doubt creeps in. The whispers start, this is too hard. Maybe this isn't worth it. Maybe I'm not built for this. But pause for a second. What if this moment right here is the test? Not a punishment, not a sign to quit, but a checkpoint. The fork in the road where most people fold and a few keep walking, because the truth is, pain isn't always a warning. Sometimes it's a doorway, and the harder it hits, the closer you are to the other side. You've come too far to forget who you are. This is where people break. Will you, or will you lean in, eyes open, fists clenched, heart pounding, and walk through the fire? Because fire doesn't just burn, it also forges. And if this is the test, pass it.
Most quit at 40%. The winners push one step further. Here's a brutal truth. Most people quit at 40%, not 90, not 70, 40. They hit a little resistance and collapse. They feel discomfort and retreat. They face pressure and call it failure. But the champions, the ones who win, they don't stop there. They hit 40% and push one more step, then another, because the difference between average and extraordinary isn't talent, it's tolerance. The ability to sit with the burn, stay with the boredom, push through the fog while everyone else checks out. That's the edge. And 41%, that's where champions are born. You're closer than you think. Don't let discomfort disguise itself as defeat. Don't mistake pain for the end when it's really the beginning. This isn't about pushing forever. It's about pushing right now. One more rep, one more day, one more level. This is the pain that builds. This is the hurt that heals. Pain feels final, sharp, endless. But it's not your enemy. It's your evolution. This is the pain that builds. This is the hurt that heals. The tears, the doubt, the ache in your bones. That's the process. You're not breaking down. You're being rebuilt. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. You wanted growth. Now you've got the tension that produces it. The breakdown is always the first step to the breakthrough. So here's the real question. Is your pain a signal to stop or a sign to grow? Because sometimes the only way forward is through, not around, not above, through. And when you make it out on the other side, stronger, sharper, wiser, you'll realize the pain wasn't the enemy. It was the teacher. Pressure makes diamonds or dust. Your move. Everyone wants success until they feel the pressure that comes with it. But pressure isn't punishment. It's a forge. It takes the raw, the rough, the unfinished and refines it into something rare. Pressure makes diamonds or dust. Your move. Because right now you're in it. The weight, the fear, the resistance. It's heavy. But that's the point. You asked to level up. This is the cost. So don't waste the pain. Don't waste the pressure. Why stop now when the pain already cost you so much? If it's going to hurt, let it mean something. Let it mark a turning point. Let it become the moment you look back on and say, that's when I changed. That's when I rose. That's when I stopped breaking and started building. You're in the fire. Now choose turn to dust or become a diamond. Hustle gets you started, but it won't take you all the way. Hustle feels powerful. It's raw. It's gritty. It's that late night, early morning energy that gets you off the ground. But here's the truth. Hustle is a match. Systems are the fire. You can grind your way into momentum, but you won't grind your way to mastery, because effort alone has a ceiling. Eventually you run out of time, energy, willpower. You're not lazy. You're just disorganized. You're doing too much with too little structure, trying to outwork a problem that requires design, not just drive. The people who scale, who multiply, who build something that lasts, they don't just grind harder, they build smarter. So honor the hustle, let it fuel you, but then step back and ask, what am I building that works without constant force? That's the question that takes you from sprinting to scaling, from chaos to clarity. Turn your actions into a machine. Right now your energy is scattered. You're doing everything and it feels like nothing's moving. That's not failure. That's friction. It's what happens when every day is a fresh scramble, when nothing compounds, and everything depends on you showing up 100%.
every time. But what if what if your success didn't depend on daily output? What if you turned the chaos into clarity, the grind into a machine? That's what systems do. They reduce decision fatigue. They eliminate randomness. They let you show up with direction, not confusion. This isn't about making your life robotic. It's about making it repeatable, because consistency isn't willpower, it's design. The more structured your path, the fewer chances you give chaos to creep in. So stop guessing, stop hoping, start mapping. Systematize the things that drain you, so you can double down on what drives you. Repeat, refine, automate. You don't need 100 moves. You need one move that gets better every time you make it. Repeat, refine, automate. That's the formula. Start by identifying what works. Do it again. Then ask, how can this run smoother, faster, with less input? Then repeat that again and again, because mastery is boring before it's brilliant. The secret to scalability isn't in how much you do, it's in how many things you can do without thinking. You need loops, templates, trigger systems that run without full attention. Track what works, drop what doesn't, build a loop that runs without you. You shouldn't be the engine forever, you should become the architect. Hustlers burn out, but builders scale. Don't just make money, build the machine that prints it. Here's the final challenge. Don't just chase income, build the machine that generates it. Because money made once is effort. Money made again and again, that's a system. You don't need more hustle. You need a framework, a repeatable machine that does the heavy lifting, so you can zoom out and lead. This is the shift that separates the grinders from the growers. Hustle creates momentum, systems create freedom, and freedom is the goal, right? Not just to work more, but to own more. Time, energy, option. The machine is what gives you that. So step back, document the process, automate what you can, delegate what you must, refine until it's clean, and when the machine runs, let it print. Because in the end, it's not just about how hard you work, it's about what you build that keeps working. When you're not structure, scales, hustle, burns out, build accordingly. You made it through the week, now make it a lifestyle. Look back for a second, you showed up, you pushed through, you finished the challenge. But let's be crystal clear, survival isn't the goal, evolution is. This week wasn't about hype. It was about rewiring how you think, how you move, how you build. So now you've got momentum, but momentum fades unless you multiply it. Will this be a phase or the foundation? You've seen what's possible when you lock in, when you commit, when you decide. But real winners, they don't just rise for a week, they stay ready, they build daily. That's the pivot. So ask yourself, is this your finish line or your launch pad? You didn't grind through this to go back to drifting. You didn't push through pressure to settle into comfort. You came this far. Now go further. Make this your standard, your rhythm, your edge. Because the moment you stop treating this like a challenge, the moment it becomes your lifestyle, one-hit wonder, or wealth builder, you choose. Here's where most people fumble the bag. They treat success like a lucky strike, a one-time win, a brief burst of effort. They hope turns into fortune. But wealth, mastery, legacy, that's not a moment, that's an identity. Anyone can win once, but can you repeat it? Can you scale it? Can you become the kind of person success sticks to? That's the test. Because this isn't about money, it's about who you're becoming. Do you want quick cash or a new character? Do you want temporary status or permanent skill? You've already proven you can rise. Now prove you can stay risen. You're not just a side hustler now. You're a builder, a strategist, a leader. So act like it, build like it, live like it. Mastery begins where comfort ends. You've done hard things. Do them again, over and over, until it's no longer hard. It's just who you are. You've been forged in the furnace. Don't go back to who you were. Pressure changes people. It burns. Yes, but it also builds. This past week was the furnace. You felt the heat, the resistance, the tension between who you were and who you're becoming. And here's the truth. You weren't just tested. You were redefined. Every early morning, every late night, every uncomfortable decision, that was the fire forging your next level. You showed yourself what you're capable of when there's no excuse left, when there's only action. So now the real question is, will you go back to who you were, or step fully into who you've become? Don't shrink to fit an old identity. Don't let past limitations rewrite your future. You've evolved. Stay evolved. Let the pain remind you. Let the winds remind you. Let the you that made it through remind you. You don't belong in average anymore. You don't belong in doubt anymore. You were built in the fire. Don't crawl back to the ashes. Earn it. Own it. Scale it. This is your new mantra. Earn it. Own it. Scale it. You earn it by showing up when no one's watching, when it's boring, when it's brutal. You own it by leading yourself, by taking full responsibility. No more waiting, no more wishing, just doing, and then you scale it, not just for income, but for impact, because here's the deepest truth. Money follows character, money follows leadership. You want more, become more. You want scale, start with self-control. Every dollar you make from here on out should reflect who you are, not just what you did, because your mindset is now your blueprint. You've built habits, you've developed hunger, you've claimed identity. Now build it bigger, sharper, smarter. This isn't the end. This is your elevation. You don't need more secrets. You need to repeat the truth until it multiplies. So lock it in. Say it with me. Louder this time. Earn it, own it, scale it, and don't look back. The door opens, but you're not who you were. You made it. The door you've been working toward. It's open, but pause for a second. Look around. This doesn't feel like the beginning anymore. That's because you're not the same person who started. This journey wasn't just about making money. It wasn't just about starting a hustle. It was about waking up. It was about burning the lies, killing the excuses, and becoming someone new. The kind of person who doesn't just talk. They build the kind who doesn't chase opportunity. They create it. This challenge might be ending, but your real life, your real path, it's just beginning. You earned this unlocked door, not with luck, but with work, with choice, with consistency, when no one was clapping. So now you stand at the threshold, wiser, sharper, stronger, because this was never about a goal. It was about you. And now that you've changed, everything else can too. You didn't just survive. You transformed. Let's be clear. You didn't just make it through. You were remade inside this furnace. This week, it wasn't just a series of tasks. It was a crucible. Every challenge you faced broke something off you. Fear, laziness, excuses, self-doubt. Every small win rewired something deeper. Discipline, direction, drive, vision. You rebuilt yourself inside that room, not just as a hustler, but as a builder, as a finisher, as someone who can start again, and this time not stop. So let's say it straight. You entered broke. You leave unbreakable. You entered unsure. You leave undeniable. This wasn't about checking boxes. It was about choosing change again and again, until it stuck. So let the world keep guessing. Let them wonder what happened, because this version of you, it didn't exist before this week. Don't ever go back to who you were. You've changed. Now protect that change, because the world you're stepping back into, it's going to try and pull you back to distractions, back to doubt, back to who you used to be. But that version of you, they're gone. The one who hesitated, who made excuses, who waited for permission, that version of you died in the fire, and they're not invited back. You didn't come this far to snap back, like a rubber band, the moment things get hard. You came this far to stay far. So burn the backup plan, break the rearview mirror, and if comfort ever comes calling, let your new identity answer, because the old you can't build what the new you was born to create. You've crossed the line, now hold it. The door's open, so what are you waiting for? This is it. The lock's broken, the weight's lifted, the path is visible. So let me ask you one last thing. If this week changed your life, why wait to change your future? Why delay what's already yours? You've built the skills, you've owned the mindset, you've stepped into a new identity. So don't hesitate, don't tiptoe, don't stall like the old you would. Walk through the door like you own it, because you do. And if anyone asks how you got here, tell them the truth. You showed up when it was hard. You stayed when it hurt. You finished what you started. Now you build what's next. So go louder, go fast, go with fire in your gut and focus in your eyes. The challenge ends here, but your future, that starts now.